Hi, my name is Trevi.
And I'm Kate.
And welcome back to our podcast called 6 Feet Above. There we go. That was it.
We did that 3 times, guys.
Yeah,
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
You can't expose us like that.
Oh, yeah, my bad. We're perfect.
Okay,
I'm teaching you something today.
That.
For the audio listeners, I'm dressed as how I would dress if I was a teacher.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Well, yes.
Well, yes.
I think this is one of my more tame fits.
Yeah, it is actually one of your more tame fits, but I'm enjoying
into
it.
role play.
You think? Like just for this podcast or just in general?
Like in everyday life. In and
like,
out
so
of the
like
bedroom.
cosplay. What's the difference?
That's such a good question. You know what's crazy? Speaking of teachers, so if I were a teacher, I'd do women and gender studies because in college I did a paper on porn and I got the highest grade in the class. I wanted to flex that real quick.
Was it like about like the neurochemistry of it all, like the dopamine?
Yeah, and like the pros and the cons, and I just kind of
the pros.
Yeah,
the pros, you nut.
That's it.
The cons
is everything else.
You won't nut with anyone else
ever.
You'll be
addicted to it, and then you'll start watching really weird porn. Not that I'm saying that from experience.
Yeah, you're like, why is she eating shit?
That's such a good question. What would you teach if you were a teacher?
I'd teach young kids how to transition.
And we need that.
Yeah,
we need that.
I think Middle America really needs that.
They've been saying that. That's all our inquiries.
I am fucking kidding. Relax. If I was a teacher, I feel like I teach. Okay, so we're doing like the. Is if I was like a professor or if I was like a high school teacher. I feel like there's something deeper I could teach.
Well, I want to make it clear that I'd be a professor. I would not dress like this in a high school.
Yeah. So I think I'd be a professor too, and
Yeah.
I think I'd teach something about neurochemistry or addiction.
That's so you.
Like addiction, neurochemistry, human psychology, something like the shit that actually like fascinates me, and you know that fascinates me.
Totally.
And transitioning, everyone,
Yeah.
Transitioning the whole globe,
Exactly.
because that's our agenda.
Well, yeah, that's why we started this podcast.
Ugh.
Obviously.
Oh my God. Guys, if you are watching on YouTube and you're driving or trying to fall asleep, you can listen to the audio version. The link is in the description. And before we continue on with this video, please make sure you are subscribed and ring the little notification bell so you know every time we upload a brand new episode. All right, back to the episode. Well, shit.
I know, right? We're back.
We're back and we're better than ever. The past 2 weeks, we were just struggling between... what was the first week? Why were we late the first week?
You were away?
Was I in San Diego? Was
I
that
think
what it is?
so.
And then I was in Cabo. And
Yeah.
But hey, we were only a day
mess.
late, and we still uploaded every week.
I know. I'm so proud of us.
Here we are back on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually had the worst 2 weeks ever, and I'm feeling so good right now.
Really?
Well, yeah, I had my period, and I also hurt my back, so I couldn't work out the way I want to.
Okay.
I'm back in the gym twice a day.
And you know what? It's this villain era.
Yeah.
The villain era aura that I'm feeling from you.
Every time a man disappoints me, I really glow up.
Kate, I think that is womanhood in one sentence. I think that's...
I'm actually fuck everything.
Yeah.
Fully focused on this bag.
Actually,
I mean, I always was, but now it's more intense.
Yeah, no, because the bag is only going to get bigger, my love.
So how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I deep cleaned my house when I got home from Cabo. I think there was just like I had my cat there, and it's just like I had one of my friends go and check on my cat, and I was like cool and all, but it's like I get home and it's just like there's just cat hair everywhere. I was just vacuuming everything. I did all my laundry. It was just like I needed that for my mental health, and I'm trying to be better at saving my money on that sort of thing. And I also know that as far as hiring a cleaner, I also know that I feel better and I feel more accomplished when I am doing my own cleaning. Totally. So when I'm doing my own laundry or when I'm doing my own dishes and I'm like, okay, bitch, I made this mess, I cleaned it up.
Yeah. You're independent.
Yeah. So I'm just really trying to it helps me with anxiety and depression, all that shit. So
God, why is everything so hard?
Everything is so fucking hard.
It really is.
Yeah.
But it's fine. We're good this week.
I think we're doing fabulous. I think so right now it's a Saturday. We normally film on Fridays or Saturdays, and I'm trying to get Kate to come out with me tonight.
I'm gonna go out in this outfit with the glasses.
Yeah. I think you need to teach these is a lesson or two.
I need to teach these hoes how to act because they don't know.
Yeah. Is that man who disappointed you still in this city?
No.
And he's never welcome back.
Oh, he's not coming back.
Okay, good. I love that. I love that.
He's not allowed back. He's banned.
No. God, no.
Yeah. So you know what? I'm ready to flirt. Or like honestly, I don't even care about that. I just want to look hot with you.
You if it happens, it happens. I think you are looking just the best you've ever looked, to be honest.
I feel the same way about you.
No, wow.
We say that every week when we come in.
And the comments say it every week too, that we just keep looking better. And I think that it's something in the air in this studio in Beverly Hills.
I literally have always said that.
You know what?
What?
Beverly Hills is full of.
Is what?
You know what Beverly Hills is full of?
Tell me.
Finance men.
Okay, because I went out to dinner the other night with all married couples. Don't worry about that. It was so boring. They were talking about like their weddings, and I was like,
snooze.
Don't remember asking. But I was sitting right across from this group of finance men.
Of course.
I lock eyes with a man, and I'm next to my brother's wife, and I'm like, not like
whopping
we're close.
5'8", right?
Yeah. No, but listen, I lean over to her. I'm like, check out shortstop. We're making eye contact, and we're looking at each other, and she's like, what the fuck? And I was like, oh, I don't know if I should have said that to her. But all I know is eye contact is kind of cute. Me and shortstop.
No, listen. The one thing that I got really fucking good at is an eye fuck.
I learned that from you.
Really?
Yes, you were telling me about it. And I'm like, wait, why aren't I doing it?
Because the only way, if they really genuinely were not interested, they would not stare back. Or if they were uncomfortable. Like if me staring at someone made them uncomfortable, what do you do if someone's staring at you that's making you uncomfortable? You are not staring back at them. No. So if you see someone constantly like giving you that like that eye,
right,
baby, it's like rock'em sock'em. Someone's got to make the first move.
Exactly. And the man should.
That is an unlocked memory. Did you ever play that as a kid?
No. I just thought it was
the game
funny.
where it's like the plastic little wrestlers.
Oh yeah,
rock'em sock'em. So that's kind of, and then you beat their ass.
Of course.
Oh, always.
But of course.
But yeah. So I think it eventually like it unveils a portal. And for some reason, a lot of the time, and I know I've said this on here, like I am initiating, and it's just fucking boring.
I feel like as tall, hot baddies, we like have to initiate sometimes.
Yeah.
So I want to start doing that. I want to initiate. What are they gonna do? Cry? I hope so.
I am quite literally begging because if you're dressed like that with that ruler, you're gonna teach them a lesson. 1000%. What was that one episode where we were talking about Beverly Hills and finance man? I go, I'm gonna sit at this street corner with my
with your asshole open.
That I cannot believe.
That was crazy.
I can't believe we let that episode go live. My mom calls me after. She goes, "What the?"
Yo, I cannot believe your mom listens.
No, my mom watches every single week.
I love her.
I love her too. But what do we said some crazy shit in the last episode too.
I truly every time we record, I'm like, who's gonna see this? No one. I really don't think anyone's like that I know is ever gonna see it.
And they do.
and they're like, what's wrong with you?
3 people came up to me last night at this bar that I was at in Silver Lake. And they were like, I'm obsessed with your podcast. And I'm
That's
like,
crazy.
I'm like, oh, so you know that I want to sit at the street corner of
yeah,
Beverly Hills
so
with
on my tea.
with my asshole open. Whoa!
That's important info.
Yeah, no, but it's been fun having people come up about the podcast.
That's so bonkers.
I love it. I love what we're doing here. It's a lot of work and it's just me, you, and Breed running this
literally it's just us
running this whole show.
Maybe we'll get help one day. That'll be kind of cool.
We will. Yeah. It's just the consistency. I was telling my mom today that it's like I feel like this is one of the few things in the past few years that I have dedicated like pure consistency to.
Yeah.
And that's gonna like if this obviously. The goal is for this podcast to be the #1 podcast in the world because which it is obviously. Yeah. But that'll teach me a lesson of how healthy and great like being consistent at whatever it is you do.
It's a good lesson. And I honestly think if you made it through the beginning of this podcast, you'll make it through anything.
What do you mean?
Like how stressed you would get.
My love.
If you got past that hump, we're just going up from here.
You guys,
People don't know that lore.
No, people don't know that lore. So this podcast, I used to think that it was a good idea to upload it on my channel that I've had for 14 years. God bless that channel. But
I love that channel.
I love that channel, but all those subscribers are there just, you know, waiting for different types of content, and they never subscribed to me for podcast content, and that's fine.
They said, "What the hell is this?"
They said, "Well, what are you doing?
Who is that girl sitting next to you?"
Yeah, they're like, "Can you please just drop like another version of Sinner?" Like,
You're
I'm
like,
quite
"No, we're
literally
actually
begging.
going to talk about finance men." So,
But I do think it was a healthy start because it got like the idea of us. It threw it out there, and then I'm actually like quite impressed and shocked that we started a brand new channel from them, because I used to have panic attacks every time we'd upload because it was my personal channel.
Yeah.
It was my personal channel.
Yeah,
so
I'd
be like, what if brands see this? Like, it's just, I don't want to look like I'm flopping, like blah, blah, blah.
And you hadn't posted a lot on that channel prior,
Yeah, so
right?
of course it's like I have to be consistent again to like
Right.
get views, but I need to do that in like my own way for my own channel rather than like blowing it up with podcast content. Like I think us starting this new channel was fab, and we hit 10K.
Yay!
May not seem like a lot, but
Are you kidding? That's the most I've ever seen.
I think 10K is it's making me want to run a 10K.
One day.
I remember my running club that I never joined?
Oh yeah, how is it?
Never joined.
I love that.
Yeah, I love that too. I just keep watching the TikToks.
That's the same thing.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm just happy. Were we talking about Finance Men, or were we just moving on?
Yeah, so I talked about Shortstop, but you didn't put your input on Finance Men and Beverly Hoyles.
So I have a specific experience with a Finance Man that I think I'm ready to talk about.
Okay.
I think it's been enough time. I experienced a very intense situationship. It lasted for a few weeks. It wasn't. It was intense though, even though it was a few weeks. Okay,
that's what they do. They make it intense.
It was very, very intense. So, let's call him
Cornelius.
We can call him Cornelius. Sure. Okay, we'll call him Cornelius. We met on a dating app, and he was just like, he wasn't like my specific type. I know I don't really have a type, but he was like, you could tell he was attractive, but in like a weird, unique way.
Okay.
Almost like an Anya Taylor-Joy way.
Oh,
you know, where she's like just so unique
she's
looking,
like
that
hot alien.
Yeah. So he wasn't giving alien. He was giving like, I don't know, but I found him intriguing, and I found him attractive, and I didn't end up being attracted to him until I was FaceTiming him. We FaceTimed every day, like 2-3 times a day, falling asleep on the FaceTime. When I'd wake up, he'd text me like, "You're up too, let's FaceTime, blah, blah, blah." Like, absolutely, like within these weeks was like actually getting to know this man. Unfortunately, I found out about halfway through that he's a Catholic background. His family would never they'd probably what he said like disown him if they ever found out about this. So I'm thinking to my head,
you're like, wow, that makes me feel so good.
First of all, that makes me feel so good, but also like that makes me feel like I haven't wasted my time at all. Like that, oh my God, this has been such not a waste of time. Like, hello? Duh, of course.
Right.
It's been weeks, and then now you're telling me that like you just want to hide me. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
And I just asked him that question, and I'm like, well, at this rate, I'm like, do you see like, I know that's a crazy question to ask within a few weeks, but it's really not, because my situation is very different than most girls. I got to know pretty straight up like what someone's intentions are with me, because if you're not going to be bold enough to share me with your friends or your family. Also found out all of his friends are like conservative. They also work in finance.
Classic.
All this, and I'm like, God damn, like just the universe just loves throwing a good lesson at me.
Yeah.
But the unfortunate part is that he just treated me with such respect and like just such like humanity, and it's just like that one was a difficult one. That one really hurt my feelings because I really was, I didn't shrink myself. I was hopeful of like maybe if it got to a point where like feelings kept growing, he could move past and maybe become bold enough to share me with the rest of his world, right?
Yeah.
We hung out a few times, and it was great, and I just like loved it. Like, he finally spent the night. all this stuff. And after just like one of the nights, he just like disappeared. Just absolutely disappeared. And it was crazy. Like you get like the text message threads are just like, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing?
It's so wild.
Pictures throughout the day, like just like crazy things, like just details about his life, and then just absolutely disappeared. And I think that was the first time I was like really ghosted, like an in-person ghosted. I've been ghosted by people that I'm just like talking to online, but a real in-person ghost, that was crazy.
So weird. It's like, why? Like the FaceTiming and all like the nice things he said, and they're like so good at making you feel so special, and then it's like you can't even be like, hey, this isn't working for me. You just have to fucking ghost.
Well, this was the one, remember the episode where we were wearing the merch, the tube tops?
Yes.
He picked me up after that episode.
Okay.
That was that one.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally. What did he say? What did he text me? He's like, I'm outside in the green Kia. And I'm like, looking for a green Kia. And he goes, JK, gray Mercedes GLE.
Ew.
And I'm like,
that's so finance, man.
And I'm like,
that's so JP
right.
Morgan.
I'm just like, I'm like, why is that hot?
I know.
That
is kind of funny.
Yeah, it is kind of funny. I'm like, I wouldn't even care if you had a green Kia. Just pick me up and love me. Like, I don't know. I think it also just, there's this city is full of people that like, I don't know if they like work or have jobs. Like, does anyone work? Obviously, we don't know.
I heard about that before I moved here, but then I actually experienced it, and it's like nobody has a job here.
Nobody has a job.
They work in film.
Well, or they're an actor.
Right.
And then I'm like, babe, I think
drop the OF.
No, or just like, girl, I saw you at Wingstop.
Screaming.
Like, I saw you with the gloves on, and no shame, no hate.
No shade.
Like, you got to do what you got to do to get the bag. But I think I also liked that he was secure, and like I knew he had a job, and that was like just a rare thing. Like, obviously, I've learned when I lived in New York that the finance man is like bah, 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 big alarm sounds.
Yeah.
So I went in cautiously with this man, and I thought it was gonna end up in my favor, and boy, was I wrong.
Oh, I love a lesson. But it is giving when people tell you who they are, like you believe them. Like when he like said that shit about needing to hide, and you were like, well, maybe like it'll change. Like,
yeah, but I don't. You know,
we
I
gotta
don't
start believing these hoes.
Yeah, I just don't have that much experience and
it's hard.
This kind of stuff. But yeah, that's LA for you, and New York.
Yeah,
I guess that leads us into our next topic.
It does.
So, what was it like for you moving to LA? And then I'm going to answer the same question as for when I was a stranger just moving into New York, because I grew up in Southern California, so I feel like I can't answer this question. I mean, the only like crazy thing about like when I first moved here was like, why are there so many 40-year-olds offering a 16-year-old?
And why is that?
Yeah, and I'm
that's something to peruse.
That's just like the one thing that I noticed.
Greatly
but other
concerning.
than that, other than that,
I love that adds so much flavor.
Yeah, so tell me about your experience moving here. I know has it been a year yet?
Yeah, it's been like a year, and
oh my god,
and then some change.
Oh wow.
So obviously, when I decided to move here, Trevi was a huge reason because she was moving here, and I was like, you know what? Let me dip. But essentially, yeah, New York wasn't working, was feeling very stagnant and depressed. And so I came to LA with you and our friend 2 months prior to moving here just to see if I would like it.
Fabulous trip.
So we came here, right? And I went to this AA meeting with our friend, and we met this girl named Gabby. And I'm not ashamed of saying it because Gabby literally posts herself in AA meetings on her story. It's kind of ridiculous. Literally posted me on her Instagram with the 12 steps. And I said, hey, maybe we shouldn't do that. Maybe a little anonymity. But anyways, I met her at that meeting. And I remember after the meeting, I was like, this girl needs help. Let me help her out. So I go up to her and I like give her my number. And then we just like text. We kind of keep in contact. And then I come home from LA. I'm in New York and I just book my flight. One-way ticket.
Oh.
No place to stay. No type of plans. Just vibes. Just vibes.
Just vibes.
And so 2 weeks prior, I was like, damn, I should probably look into like getting a place, perhaps.
Yeah, maybe not the 405.
That would be kind of cool. Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah. Randomly, Gabby was like, hey, I need a roommate in 2 weeks on her Instagram. And I was like, okay. And so I just FaceTimed her, and she was like, I'm weaning off Lexapro. I'm fucking miserable. And I was like, I'm moving in. And so she like,
who's ready to heal?
Yeah, who's ready to heal? And so, yeah, I FaceTime with her. And so I pull up, and instantly bond with the roommates, like obsessed with them. And I'll say, my LA experience has been so good, but also so deeply up and down. Like, it's kind of legit bonkers. You know, people say like everyone in LA is fake. And like that's not true, but it's true. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'll just share this like one story that really just like illustrates my experience in LA meeting people. I
The ruler. The ruler.
My third day here. Third day. I'm trying to make friends. I'm trying to like, you know, get out there. I meet this guy and he seems so cool. I literally thought he was LGBT. Which, you know.
Was it Silver Lake?
Yeah.
There you go.
And I'm like, listen, I wasn't used to the LA men. And
Silver Lake, they really walked the line.
No, literally. He was like in a bedazzled hat and he was like, "Hey girl." And I was like, "Oh my God." Again, I shouldn't have assumed.
He's like, "Let me hit."
That's my bad. Yeah. No, literally.
Yacht.
And so he like asked me out to lunch. I'm like, "Oh my God, amazing. I want to make friends. This is great." So he's like, "What's your address? I'll come over. I'll pick you up." He shows up to my place. And he's like not in a car. He's like outside of my door.
Wait. Okay.
Yeah. And I go, "Oh, am I driving?" And he was like, "No, you're not going to show me your place." And I was like, and I swear like my stomach truly dropped. And you know, when you like try to overcompensate when you're in a weird situation, I was like, "Yeah, come on in." And my roommates weren't home. So I was like, and I was like, it's okay. He can still be my friend. And then he comes in and he goes, "Where's your room?" Third day moving to LA. And I was like, "It's upstairs." And he runs upstairs and sits on my bed. So he sits on my bed and I'm sitting on the edge of my bed, uncomfortable, like new to LA. And he's just like talking. And you know, when they're just like looking at you and the second you lock eyes, they'll probably like make a move. So my head is just like turned around the whole time. And I'm like, yeah, this is crazy. Like,
well, that's what I'm saying. When someone's staring at you, your instinct, if you're uncomfortable, is to look away. So if you're looking back at them,
right. Okay, not us like tying in everything.
We're love kind how organized we are.
I know. But anyways, my body language is so off. I'm so stiff. And then he's just like standing there and I'm texting my roommates being like, "Please come home. Please help me. It's my third day here." I'm like, they're going to think I'm some like weird bitch.
Right.
Anyways, and they do. But
still do.
They still do. He ended up leaving and then I just like am crying. And I'm like,
did you do something?
No, we didn't do anything. He left finally and I was just like, "Hi, yeah, like I gotta go to the gym." And I was like, that was so f***ed up. And I remember I called my friend Jared in New York.
Love
him. He's hot. He's so hot. I love you. And he's like, "Welcome to LA, bitch." And I was like, "I made a mistake. I hate LA."
Oh yeah, because he's like from here.
Yeah, he's from here. But anyways, that just kind of taught me like, oh, let me low-key not trust anyone.
Ever.
But I'll say, after like 6 months in LA, I like found my groove.
Right.
And
with the 5'4", 64-year-old
with
man.
the 5 year yeah. Then I started dating my boss. That was kind of weird. That was another not great experience, but I learned a lot. All I'm saying is I've had all these experiences in LA and I've like thrown myself into it that were so valuable. And although in the moment perhaps it was atrocious, I've also had a lot of beautiful moments. I've met a lot of stunning, beautiful souls, and like I love it here and I'm so new to it and I just can't wait to explore more.
Yeah.
So
you're blossoming.
I don't know what the moral of that story. All I know is I love that we're here together.
I love it. I don't even remember us in New York.
Well, I try to forget.
I literally
because I don't know what that era was.
How many different colors can my pee be?
Let's talk.
No, because let's talk about it.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say glitter, but that too.
But also, how many index fingers does it take to
smear that glitter on your eyelid?
That glitter. I mean, that was probably like burning like carbon emissions.
Yeah,
like
most likely.
the factories that had to make that glitter, the amount of glitter I was using on my index fingers, that was equivalent.
That was like a workout.
That was equivalent to like a Jeff Bezos Taylor Swift jet. And don't kill me, Swifties. I love her.
No, literally.
But like, I mean, the amount of girl.
Yeah.
Tone it down.
Listen, it was a great era.
Yeah.
Also, just speaking of pee, this former client at the Sober Living literally DM'd me today saying, "Now that you don't work at the Sober Living anymore, can I tell you how I cheated my pee test?" And I said, "No." But yeah, tell me.
How did she?
I don't know. She didn't answer yet. I'll let you know.
Wow. Do I know her?
It was the one I talked about last time.
Oh, fun.
Yeah,
Let me know.
I will.
Just in
You're
case
like,
for
I need to know.
for future purposes.
Okay, but that's LA. I want to hear about
love.
you moving to New York.
Yeah, so New York was
New
I was
York.
there for what, like a hot like year and a half.
It was needed.
It was needed for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, especially to meet you, and I don't think I would be sober still if it wasn't for me moving to New York. Um, as soon as I got sober in San Diego, at like a super normal rehab, and I did a lot of like, I don't know if I really like told this story, but I did a lot of like expensive rehabs, like Malibu rehabs.
Sounds so fun.
And they're very just like spa-y, and it's not very like, it wasn't giving like, who's ready to heal. It was giving
I
like,
should've worked there,
it
damn.
was just giving like, relax, here's your
Right.
medicine. You could come to the group therapy
Right.
or not.
It's like, how's that going to help you when you leave?
Exactly.
That's why you
So
needed New
I
York.
finally was just like, Mom, send me to like any fucking rehab that can take me today. And whatever rehab she sent me to, and I wish I could say the name because I just don't know if they would want me to say the name, but I went. It was in San Diego, and I show up, and it's this little house, and they check me and they do my intake, and it was just the sweetest, most caring staff like in the world, and I felt so welcome. And like on my fourth, fifth day of like finally detoxing, where it was like time to like start going to the groups and stuff, it was giving who's ready to heal. Like it was, you need to get up at 6 a.m. every morning, and I loved getting up that early. I loved making coffee and talking with the older people that were in the rehab.
Cute.
I like, there was like this 70-year-old guy, and there was like this 40-year-old guy, and there was like this 60-year-old woman. Like I was always up like around their time just because like my body was waking me up at the time. But I just loved like making like the bagels and like the coffee and talking and having deep talks with these older people. And I think that like, first of all, I didn't have that in any other rehab, like that bonding morning experience, that just those, like I just got chills like thinking of like just the way that like just the fucking Folgers coffee, just the cheap, just lay it on me.
Disgusting coffee.
Just lay it on me. So, and then I did that, and I was just so motivated to stay sober because I was having such a fabulous time sober for the first time in a long time. And after I was done there, I was like, I have to keep the excitement going. If I go to a sober living in LA, I've done that before. I f***ed up there. I got kicked out.
Zoinks.
Yeah, that's like a story that like maybe I can tell another day, but it's like low-key like embarrassing. But I was like, I don't want to go back to LA because I know the drug dealers out here. I know which friends will keep me around because they kind of want to see me fail. I also know the friends that I can be surrounded around who won't care if I'm relapsing. There's so many different friend groups that like,
God, I had so many friends when I was drinking.
you know what I'm saying? Like those friends who are just like always down to party, don't really care. They're like, oh,
they're like, you're fine. You don't have a problem. Yeah.
And I loved those friends, but I needed to
them.
stay away from any of those people, and I needed to stay away. I didn't know any people, quite frankly, in LA or in New York besides a few influencers. Like that's it. Like I didn't know any dealers. I didn't know any friends that wanted me to like, you know, go crazy. So I was like, I've always wanted to try it. Let me do a bold move and hop on a flight. It was my first flight ever sober.
Wow.
In my adult life. Boy, was that an experience. Like as soon as I walked in the airport, I was like triggered. Like not kidding. And I like never like triggered like that, but I was like, I walk in like LAX, and babe, there was definitely a dream in a cardigan, but I swear to God there was no Bloody Mary. But yeah, I just kind of told my mom, and I told the rehab, and they're like, are you sure about that? Like, we'd like to keep you pretty local. I'm like, nope!
Yeah, you're like, I'm out!
Concrete jungle, baby, where dreams are made of.
They truly are.
My mom, my dad, my brother, they thought I was crazy, and I was like, you guys, you have to trust me.
You're like, I am.
I am in bad insane, but you have to trust me. It's the distance from... even distance from my family, like knowing that I can't be saved physically, like that I can't just run home to my mom or I can't just like, I had to just fucking get
Right.
away from everything. And I love New York, and I still do, just don't love living there.
Small doses.
Yeah, small doses for sure. I'm going back in 2 weeks. I'm actually pretty excited about that. I haven't been in a long time, so I'm really, really excited. But yeah, I show up to the sober living. It was snowing, I think, and I think I was just immediately like, what the is going on?
How did you find it? You just like looked it up?
I dead ass. I was Googling New York City sober living, and there was a few that I called, but then as soon as I got on the phone with our girl,
yeah, the boss, my
boss, your old boss,
right? I'm like, she's still my boss.
I know, I love that. As soon as I got on the phone with her, we immediately clicked.
Yeah.
And I was just,
she told me that.
Yeah, it was just, we had such a fabulous conversation for like an hour, and she just understood my humor. There was also like, there's this big hoop that I have to get through of, I called a few of the sober livings, and they wouldn't take me in the women's houses. And look, I was pretty early in my transition, and that's like, I understand that things may happen, and like, you know, people may be uncomfortable or whatever, and different places have different policies, and I'm not gonna on that, to be quite honest. But I will say the one thing I am just very, very grateful for is that she really just truly knew that I was there to heal.
Yeah.
And I needed to be in a space where I felt comfortable.
Of course.
And she knew that like I was never one to make anyone uncomfortable. Like she just immediately had this trust with me. And as soon as I show up, like I said, it's snowing. One of the girls working the overnight shifts helped me up with my bag, and I woke up the next day and everyone's like lined up on the couch
screaming.
And I walked downstairs. I'm like, because I'm terrified of like what they were gonna think of me. Like I'm like, oh, this trans girl with botched extensions is in our house, and I'm like the glitter on the eyes, the T-shirt of it all. I was still just like, who's ready to heal? That's the episode title.
Who's ready to heal?
Who's ready to heal, baby?
You were,
but I don't know. Sometimes when I get really nervous, like I said, when I'm under pressure, I just enter the mode of like I have to make an impression, and I just remember that
like everyone laugh.
In that first day, I just immediately, the first friend I had was B.
Okay.
And then it was A, my roommate.
Right.
Before the celebrity roommate.
Miss her.
And then it just became such a fabulous community, and that house was truly like, damn, like, it had me being like, this is New York. Like, this is the community of New York. The one thing I will say about New York is I actually love the people in New York.
That's what I miss most about
I don't
it.
love the men. I don't love the finance men.
No.
But as far as friends go,
yeah,
and just the people, they are just
it's so different.
fabulous and truthful, and they don't walk on the edge of what they need to say.
Exactly.
And that's something that that's a part of New York that I took with me back to LA when I moved.
Mm-hmm.
I am now not really afraid ever to speak my mind.
Yeah.
Like I will always, if someone's cutting me or if I'm walking here, that energy somehow entered my DNA. But I'm much more bold than I was before I moved to New York as far as speaking my mind.
Yeah. New York and just being sober gives you this confidence that not many can teach.
It takes a special type of person to last New York sober, and
it does.
And I'm not eating my own ass, but low key I am. You know what I'm saying? So after I moved out, I got my own apartment, and then that's when kind of things went a little downhill for me. Right. I loved the community aspect so much, and I felt like I should have moved into an apartment with one of the girls. But I didn't. I lived alone, and I wanted to have the freedom again. And the freedom turned to boredom, and the boredom turned to depression, and then just the way the weather cycles in New York. It was just
so lonely.
It was very lonely.
I can't imagine living alone in New York.
Very like just gray, and I had a lot of just great friends that I met outside the sober living as well. And I still keep in touch with all of them. but I think overall it was a fabulous balance of darkness and lessons and new opportunities and new like possibilities.
Right.
It was a 50-50 good and bad experience, and I
Totally.
think I needed that
100%.
because I 100% had to move back to LA.
Yeah.
Because now that kind of taught me like, okay, I can run now.
Hell yeah.
And the fact that you're here with me is
so,
just
while you were talking about
beyond.
that, I
It's-
was like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
I literally was working there and now we're here. Like, that's so crazy.
And I don't know it, like, because some people have started on like episode like 10 or like
Yeah.
episode like 12 or episode even episode like 4. Like, a lot of people don't really realize that me and you became friends because you were the manager of the sober living.
Right.
I was a client that I was living at, trying to, who is ready
trying to
heal.
survive. I'm overseeing like 9 girls. But
yeah,
I'm just like literally while you were talking, I just thought about the first time I met you, and it's like so wild that we're here now.
It's
just like seeing you and being like, "Hi, I'm Kate," and now we're here. Like,
it's just crazy.
Yeah.
I think life is just, it's so funny, but it's up to us and our decisions and our willpower that lead us to places. And like, I'm just so fascinated with how this relationship became
something else.
It's something else, and
Yeah.
it's such a fabulous story that like I think that's like honestly like a huge reason why we started the podcast.
Right.
Just like this friendship it means so much to me.
Yeah, same.
And I don't think I'd be sober still if it wasn't for you, and I'm not putting that pressure on you at all. I mean,
that's so sweet.
I think you just taught me a lot about friendship and making big decisions and standing up for myself, and you taught me a lot about dating and that. I guess just you were my New York mother, and I'm here to be your LA mother.
And you are.
I think both these experiences of us living in these different places were needed, but I don't you dare go back to New York because I might follow you.
No, we have to stay here.
We have to stay here and slay
to build
here.
our empire.
Yeah. All right, should we do off chest?
Kind of begging.
I'm kind of begging. This is the segment called Off Our Chest, where we get something negative or positive off our chest. Quite literally.
Literally.
You want to start?
I will. Okay, so I got like 2 quick ones. The first one is I am on dating apps, you know, on the quest for a connection of sorts. That sounded really desperate. I took that back. Yeah, exactly. Lana. And I matched with this guy, and like I said previously in this episode, I truly believe every time I post a video that no one's gonna see it. Like no one is ever gonna see it. And he was like, he matched with me. He was like, "Hey, you're that girl that does all those car videos."
Like the TikTok.
Yeah. And I was like, "Tis I."
Tis I.
And he was like, "How's dating men going? Kind of seems like a running issue for you." And I was like, "Oh no," because he really ate me up with that.
Okay, but fan behavior.
I know. I was like, "Wait, you're a fan."
Yeah, fan behavior.
But then he asked to take me out. But
wait, he asked to take you out?
yeah, he was
Are
like,
you
you know,
gonna do it?
being a little sassy. I don't know.
You should do
We'll
it.
see. I'll FaceTime him first.
Can I see him?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I mean no.
Oh.
No. This is a thing that we do on 6FA, my love.
I can't tell if he's cute.
Okay, and I'll tell you.
Well, here's the thing. Me
I
and
can-
you have very different types,
I can
love.
step into who you are and what you like and see
Did you
what's
think
right.
my last man was hot?
Tattoo dealer? Yeah.
No.
Oh, he never liked my photos.
Do you know he went private?
Oh, so he that's probably, he knows. I mean, girl, I think that we're regarding the last episode, by the way.
Yeah.
So we talk about this man on our podcast,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
We clip it.
We clip it.
and then I'm like,
and then,
why?
And then I like his photos. You go to my Instagram, it's just reels of me and you.
yeah.
Of course he's
What's
gonna.
wrong with that? That's the problem. I'm like, no one's ever going to know.
No one's ever gonna know that you told me about him. My entire Instagram, you go to the reel section, it's just
Is that-
clips of us.
And I'm like, why'd he go private? like, yo, that's the problem.
Do you think any of the 6FA girlies that watched found him? I fear they probably did.
There's no way.
Babe.
And yeah, he is kind of like a New York City icon in a way. Minus the icon part. But anyway.
Just a con.
Yeah,
Just a con.
Nah.
Yo, that was good. God, that was
Tell
funny.
me what you think. He's a white man. Trigger warning.
I love him.
Really? I can't tell.
Oh, I'm obsessed.
Are you serious?
Halsey. 6'1".
Okay, that's gross.
Kate, you gotta.
Wait, okay.
Kate,
This is validating.
I really like this guy.
Okay.
For you, and honestly,
For
I
you?
find him attractive as well.
That's crazy.
I seriously try it.
Okay.
And she ignored his last 2 messages.
And I did.
Can you please respond?
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. No, like I'm actually. Please.
Okay, no, she's mad
You
at me.
need to because you need to do if someone's coming on to you and asking you to go on a date and like
No.
this seems like it could be healthy. Can you please just give it a try for me?
I know, right?
Can we move past the guy that treated you like shit and move on to bigger and better things? I'm quite literally begging.
Actually begging.
So can you after this?
Yeah,
for
I'll
me?
do it. I'll do it.
Okay.
Okay, now you being my dating coach.
Yeah, no,
okay.
I'm like interrupting you off your chest.
Yeah, you're like, get your together. And I need to. But okay, so that was like hilarious in a way.
Yes.
And then my second off my chest is I have this friend and she is just a stunning and
I'm right here.
she's like an orchardist. Like obviously besides you. She's an orchardist. She like works at an orchard and I go to her orchard like once a week and we like chop wood and make a fire.
I saw that.
It's like really wholesome and we were just like sitting watching the sunset talking and like we stopped and we were like, what a beautiful moment of girlhood. And we were just like truly just having a cute moment. We ate like half a baguette. I'm in my fur coat and it was just like after a week of such tomfoolery with men, it was so nice to just sit down with my girl by the sunset, which I want you to come to the orchard and meet her, by the way.
Please.
No,
I was
actually,
watching that. I was like,
I really want
that
you to come.
looks so cute.
Yeah. I
And
was, like,
also
thinking
like a
about it.
safety hazard with the axe, but
Exactly. And like me starting a fire with a fur coat was kind of bonkers, but she wants to meet you. She loves you.
okay,
And
love her already.
it was just like, it's sometimes just so nice.
Yeah.
To just talk a bunch of shit with a lady.
Yeah.
I
I mean, that's how I feel every time we come here.
No, literally.
Yeah.
And like now I have this as well. Like I'm good for the week. But yeah, it was beautiful. And I'm very thankful for those moments.
I love that. I think those both could be considered positive, to be honest.
They kind of are.
Yeah.
And you like low-key read me to filth in a good way.
Yeah. And I always will. And you
Thank
always
you.
will for me too.
Yeah, thank you.
Especially when you say the words stand up. And I never do.
Stand up.
I never will. I love that. I want to meet her.
Yeah.
And I saw that and it
You
looked
gotta
so
come.
gorge.
You gotta come.
I just love moments like that where you catch yourself present.
Mm-hmm.
And that happens only like for me in sobriety. Like
Yeah.
I had one of those, I think coming home from Coachella and there was like a beautiful sunset and it was just like a great weekend. And I was like, I always like, everything's so like autonomous sometimes. Like I always just like feel like very autopilot.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like realized I'm like, wow, like I'm alive
Yeah.
right now. Like I'm alive and breathing and I'm doing all this and I've gotten so far. I've gotten 25 years down on this earth, alive, been through some shit,
Right.
conquered it.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd these hits come from? Like, babe, like it's just when you kind of turn off that autopilot and try to be present, it's really healthy. And I'm trying to do that more. So I love that you brought that up. My off my chest is also very good.
Yay.
I started using my gym membership again.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I went to a yoga class and it was fabulous.
Really?
I just was so proud of myself.
You should be.
Because normally when I go, I'm just like doing like treadmill shit, like my own like little core workout. And it's kind of like boring and like miserable. I'm like, why am I by myself?
Yeah.
And I'm like, why am I not taking the classes? Like I'm
Yeah.
paying for this membership.
Yeah.
Why don't I just go take the class and go be around other people? Maybe I'll meet new friends. Maybe I'll meet a guy. It's not even about that, but it's about like being surrounded by people.
Right. It keeps you motivated.
Helps. So I did that and I felt so good. And I wanted to go yesterday, but I accidentally fell asleep on the couch for 2 hours. And that's my problem. But tomorrow I think I want to go back for another class.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Was it hot yoga or regular?
It was regular.
Okay.
But I'm still sore.
Yeah.
It was a movement class, kind of like teaching you about like how to like keep your body aligned in your posture and like it was very intense. It was very intense, but I loved it.
I want to get into that. I get so bored in yoga. I need to work on that.
I just love it because my mom
yeah, it's in your blood. Right.
But yeah, my mom teaches yoga, so I think that it's like in my blood, like you said.
It's in your blood.
She was like so proud of me. She's like, "Oh my god, I love that."
Cute.
Yeah.
Oh, I love her.
I love her too. Fabulous. I mean, do I have another off my chest? I feel like I do. Wait, hold on. Oh, I have an off my chest.
Talk.
I have it off my chest. I was at a birthday party the other day, and I had a fresh blowout. Okay, and I was just feeling myself, and my glam was good. I wasn't even. My night wasn't even supposed to be at this birthday party. Like I started off at Jones in Hollywood, got food, chilled, ended up at Barney's actually. Very strange, very strange. But it was on like I think it was on a Monday, so it was just like very relaxed. It was like, it was very chill.
God, that
I enjoyed it. I
place.
didn't feel like intimidated by like all those people. But I ended up at this birthday party for a friend that I've known for a very long time, and someone at this birthday party was very hammered, as
Cute.
some people do at a party, and that's live your truth, girl. But at the party there was a pool.
Oh God.
And at midnight, when it was the birthday person's birthday, the birthday person jumped in, and then a few other people jumped in, and they're like, "Come on, everyone, jump in the pool!" And I'm like, "Sitting
You
there,
said hell
a fresh
no.
blowout." I'm like, "No,
You
no,
crazy?
no."
Yeah.
And one of them's like, "Trevi, come in. Trevi, come in." And I'm like, "No, no, no. Like I have shit to do. Like I had something that I had to record. Like that's why I had my blowout done, because I was gonna wrap it up in a bonnet, wake up, and go do my thing." This person
No.
like takes just with all of their might and just splashes me, gets me soaked, ruins my blowout.
Bitch.
My mascara is going down my face.
Who? Do you know?
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
not gonna.
okay.
I don't out people on this podcast. I talk about my experiences. I'm not here to cancel people.
Why not?
But I'm like, it was a very influential person.
Was it a famous person?
Yeah. But I wasn't gonna make a scene or wasn't gonna be mad at this person.
Right.
Like this is this person. They're having fun. I just immediately went to the bathroom. I dabbed myself off and
Right.
Irish exited.
Like, way to be a buzzkill, dude.
Yeah, I was already like planning on heading home, but I was
Yeah.
planning
You're like,
on
thank you so much for ruining.
yeah, I was planning on heading home with like my blowout still
Right,
intact.
right, yeah.
But it's all right. I got it fixed. And everything was fine. I just think that like that's kind of sometimes where I like draw the line with like how hammered can the people be
Yeah.
when I'm around.
When they start getting touchy or like doing anything that is like something touching me, if that makes any sense,
Yeah.
that's when I dip.
Because I don't mind a person drinking around me. I don't mind a drunk
Hell
person around me.
no.
But when you pass a certain point, like there's
Yeah. When they're talking to you in your ear, they're just like making out with your
I'm
ear.
like,
and
oh
you're
my
like,
God,
wow.
why does your breath smell like an entire meat market?
Yeah, like I didn't like truly inhaling sausages.
No,
and
I am truly inhaling like the 7 layers of the earth.
like
What the fuck?
exactly.
I don't know what
that.
I just said, but honestly, it's like I think it made sense.
It did.
Yeah. So
To smart people.
yeah. Have you or do you ever get jealous?
Nope. I'm
Okay.
perfect.
What are we moving on to?
Okay, like so you talk all this stuff about parties, but let's talk about something that's not outdoors. Okay, this segue is actually
Okay,
so bad.
and that's
oh my God. I'm leaving.
You need to just
Let
you
me
ever get
just-
jealous
Yeah,
at. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, parties are outdoors, but let's talk about the indoors. Let's talk about the bedroom. Let's talk about only.
Speaking of buzzkill, holy.
Let's talk about.
All right, so that's all we have for
spicy-
today.
I got the segue. Are you feeling spicy today?
No, but I did have some sriracha earlier.
Well, that spice is cute, but let's talk about real spice, which is OF.
She holds up. She's like, "This video is sponsored by Old Spice." Oh my god.
OF. Get your money. Let's talk about it.
Okay.
You making one?
No, I had a thought to do one.
Right. What happened to that?
I got talked out of it by myself and like by
Society.
I asked my mother. I didn't like ask her, but I was just like told her. I was like, what would you think if I did this? And it was a thought that I had because like the money seems fabulous.
You would clean up.
But like the Mac deals of the world, the Smashbox deals of the world, the Hinges, the future like I don't believe that those would continue to come if I was naked online.
That's what sucks because like I am going to write a show for HBO Just heads up, you're gonna be in it.
Okay. This is news to me, but I love the manifestation.
It's gonna happen.
No, of course it is.
It already is happening when you kind of think about it.
And we're both starring in it.
Yeah. No, of course. And so
the of course at the same time.
The delusion, but also not.
It's
delusion.
not delusion.
Yeah, no, it's not.
No. We are hilarious and smart and talented.
No, yeah. So the show is gonna be on HBO.
And trans.
Yeah. It's gonna be on it soon. But anyways, I fear that if I did an OF, that would not be in my future, which is messed up.
Right.
But my roommate just made one. She's cleaning up.
Work.
She's cleaning up. But she said that like for so long she was debating it and it was like all like societal pressure.
Right.
But she's a comedian and she was like, I'm so nasty and raunchy online.
Yeah.
And everyone's so mean to me. Like she gets the most horrendous DMs. So she's like, why don't I just get people to pay for it?
Right.
And so now I can be like nasty and like not get flagged.
Yeah.
And she's cleaning up.
It's interesting. It's almost like I see like a genie holding like two keys, right?
Yeah.
It's like the golden shiny key to get as like unlimited money and fame and the lifestyle that you want, and all you got to do is show some
hole.
And then there's like this rusty old key.
Right.
You got to go get it cleaned up and duplicated. It's going to take a lot of work to get what you've always wanted. But it'll take a little bit longer, and it's going to take a lot more effort. And it's like, what do you take, the sparkly, fresh, brand new one, or like the? And I think ultimately, like me and you correct me if I'm wrong. I'm cleaning off that rusty key, and I'm taking like, I guess a more traditional route. The only way I feel like I would ever somehow think of doing it is if we did it for the podcast.
Right, like a joint one. But even then, I'm like, what if like media companies don't want to work with us? That's what stresses me out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, but we would clean up.
What is this cleanup phrase?
Why have I said that like 10 times?
I don't understand what you. Isn't
I feel
that
like a creepy like mafia member? I don't know.
Isn't
why.
that like just like the like clean up in what way?
Like make shmoney. As you know, I'm in my villain era, but I'm feeling very business savvy. So I'm using business terms like clean up.
Okay. I love that.
Yeah, so bottom line, we're not making an OF.
and if it comes to the point where we're both just needing to clean up.
Yeah. Because sometimes you need to clean up.
Sometimes.
That's what I always say.
Then we can do it.
Yeah.
It's always there.
It's always that's the thing.
That's the thing. It's gonna be there.
Last resort.
But I think we need to continue with that rusty key.
Yeah, because we got to be on HBO.
That's the one place I'll show my tits.
Oh yeah, that's why I want to be on it, so we can show ass and titties.
Babe, I didn't go under the knife to just not show them.
People need to see them in HD.
HD, HBO.
I'm plaguing. What the hell?
Plaguing, pegging, and bagging, honestly, at this point.
Pegging and begging.
No, that's the episode title. Plaguing, pegging, and begging.
Oh, have mercy.
Lord have fucking mercy. Should we do advice?
Yeah, I'm kind of begging.
I'm kind of literally begging. I'm plaguing.
You want to introduce?
This is the segment where we answer your inquiries sent. I never know how to say this. This is the unnamed segment where we answer your advice inquiries sent to our Instagram. Take it away, Kate.
So the first one is, I'm 55, but I don't want to date women my own age. Is there something wrong with me? Yes.
No, okay.
Hey, I don't really know what's going on in the world. I don't know if this is specifically LA, New York. If you are like 55, say, and you only like to date women half your age, there's something wrong. You're lacking something in the confidence area. You need someone like, listen, what I've learned, and like I date a lot of like older men, and when I was younger, I've dated older men. Yeah. Like they date these younger women because listen, I'm not talking about all older men. I am. But they date these younger women because they can get away with more shit. These younger women are not as confident. They're not as wise. And it speaks to your, like, listen, I think you're great. I don't know who you are, but clearly you're great if you're asking a question to us. You need to look inward as to why someone your age would, like, you know,
not satisfy you.
It would not satisfy you because there is something wrong. Like, you're lacking in several areas of your life. You're honestly a loser. No, kidding. But like, there is something wrong. There is something wrong.
Let me give my 2 cents. I think it could be viewed as materialistic because that is. Look at me when I'm speaking.
I'm looking at the questions.
I'm walking in.
I'm walking in.
I think it could be a little materialistic because it's like solely also could be on looks. Like younger people are typically more traditionally
Which I hate so
like
much.
attractive, right? Like smoother skin, like less wrinkles, like whatever, blah 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 blah. And that is a little materialistic in a way. But as far as like your intentions and like, because I know that you've been with people and I've been with people that are a little bit older that kind of have like this underlying subconscious intention of like taking advantage of like not necessarily the lack of wisdom but the lack of experience. But I also think there could also be nothing wrong if there is someone who has their shit together and is younger and is looking for an older man. Like I don't think it's wrong. I don't know how young we're talking. If we're talking 18, it's giving Spook City.
Yeah.
But if we're talking like 30s, like I don't know. You're a little harsh. Yeah. You're a little harsh today, Kate.
I think, you know what? And I'm glad you brought that up about saying like younger people are more conventionally attractive. I think I get protective of women in that sense because that fucks women up so much. And it's like women are so scared of aging, which is why I love Julia Fox so much, is because she's like embracing it. And she like talked the other day on this interview. She was like, it is so fucking uncool to like race against time, to not get older. So you're not like quote unquote fuckable anymore. Right. Like I think that's so lame. Yeah. And it like obviously plagues us every day. Like not every day, but like it plagues women in general. So like I think that question kind of set me off because I'm like, women like deal with so much bullshit and like we're just like fighting against this clock that like shouldn't even exist. Yeah. It just fucks us up.
I mean, it just naturally is life and it's like fighting the natural progression of life. Right. But at the same time, it's like also if you're doing it for yourself, like you can't really say much. Like for me, like it's obviously a mix. I like do Botox to not age myself, but I also do it like because I like to look smoother, but I also do it possibly for the male gaze. Right. I don't know. It is strange because you don't hear much about men doing that
ever.
I mean, and some of them do that, obviously.
And it's like I'm literally part of the problem. I like older men, but
yeah, no, and like, so I do sometimes as well. Yeah. I think we should have a whole discussion in a future episode about aging. Yeah. Aging, and also like maybe tied in with like cosmetic procedures because I don't know if I like really went in depth about like my boobs surgery.
Right. We gotta get into that.
I don't
not enough.
Not enough. Let me know if you want to hear that, and also comment any topics on this video,
please,
guys. We're dry over here. Yeah. We're trying our hardest. So if there's anything that you want to see us talk about that we haven't spoke about, like drop a comment. Like we read that shit.
Yeah, and you know what? To this guy, sorry I went kind of hard on you. Yeah. I think you're doing your best, and I believe in you. Okay. The next question is, Trevi, give us the music lore. Are we getting new music? What are you doing right now with music?
And that's a fair question. I mean, it's not necessarily advice, but
yeah, it kind of.
I guess I'll answer it. I resumed recording for my album.
It's so good. I heard a song.
I'm so excited with the producers that I'm working with. It's so major. Good. Like it's just like we have like Grammy-winning people that we're working with. And I'm just I feel pretty set about it. And I've never felt more creative. Like what I did the other day, like the structure of the song, like we knocked it all out and I wrote it all by myself in like 4 hours. Yeah.
Wow. It's so good, guys. You are not ready.
It's so fun. And there's just so many more that we have and so much more that I have to write and do. And it's probably going to take me a second, but I'm in the part like June through like August is like session.
Do we have like an ETA?
I want to say beginning of next year is my goal. Okay. Is my goal. Totally. What are your thoughts on the new Billie Eilish album? Well, that's again not advice, but I'll take a good question. I will take a good question. Have you heard it yet?
No, I didn't even know she had an album.
It came out last night.
Okay.
Yeah. It is truly fabulous,
really?
and I love her, and
Yeah.
I've never been like a super fan.
She's great.
It took me a second to understand her,
Mm-hmm.
and her artistry, and that was just my lack of like effort of getting like trying to understand
Mm-hmm.
it. But as of recently, in the past like 2 eras, I really start to see her and understand her for who she is, and
Mm-hmm.
she's just very human and very artistic.
Yeah.
And there's just every track. It's one of those albums where like every track perfectly blends into each other. Like
Really.
like with one of those albums where it all sounds like one song. It's like
Beyonce's album was like
it's
that.
just so the production. Phineas just absolutely slayed. She slayed. My favorite song on there right now is Blue. You need to listen to it.
Okay.
Hence, this is Billie Eilish
Was that the
inspired.
inspo?
This was the inspo today.
Cute.
I was giving Blue. I don't want to spoil it. Like I don't want to like say like,
Yeah.
but it's such great writing, and it's just fabulous. Like I think I'm becoming obsessed, and I'm late to the party, and I apologize for that, everyone, all the Billy stands, but I'm here and I see it and I love it, and as a fan and a consumer, that shit bangs.
I can't wait to listen.
I can't wait to show you.
Ugh.
But it is, you know what it is giving?
Tell me.
It's giving gratitude.
Oh my God, it really is.
Oh my God, have you ever been jealous? You ever get jealous? Are you jealous?
I am so grateful that my back is feeling better. I'm back in the gym twice a day. And what I love is like, I went to the gym twice a day. I was feeling good about it. And then the next day I ate like half a baguette, like a full thing of dumplings. And I was like, it's balance.
That's fine.
I'm not going to feel guilty about it. Like I love it.
No need.
It's giving both.
Yeah.
So I love that. Honestly, like I say this probably every week. Love doing this with you. Love dressing up. Like I get so excited dressing up for this podcast. Like it's like a whole process. I'm blasting Meg. I'm like doing my makeup.
Of course.
And just like honestly, I said it once, I'll say it again. Meg just like really helps me enter my villain era in like a sexy way, and like she just makes me feel so powerful.
Yeah.
I just love her. Like
the Boa music video.
The Boa music video is so good.
Can't.
Oh
I
God,
can't.
she's so hot. I want to channel one of those outfits. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
You just wait. But yeah, I'm feeling very empowered. I know that
Okay.
word might sound corny, but it's just
No.
like perfectly describes how I'm feeling.
I love that. I'm grateful I fixed my blowout.
Yes.
I'm grateful that even when things upset me, I can keep my cool and release that energy in healthy ways. I like when I didn't lash at that person at that birthday party. I was
Period.
this f***ing close.
It's growth.
I'm grateful that I'm just getting out of the house, kind of doing things again, and my sleeping schedule's fixed for the most part.
Love.
Just grateful to be traveling a lot. I did Cabo, and now I'm doing Hawaii, and then again, and then now I'm doing New York City.
Hello.
It's just a lot of moving, a lot of just keeping my
You're giving
body
jet
moving.
setter.
Yeah,
You said you wanted to give that.
I wanted to give that, and I fear that I may be giving that.
So I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, but also grateful to be here with you, and grateful for all of you.
Yes.
For you just keep tuning in, and I love it. And
It
it's so
means so
consistent.
much to us.
It's so consistent. So
It means so much.
tell a friend. That's all I could say. Share it, fucking like it, twist it, bop it, pull it. I love you,
Literally obsessed with you.
and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.